It's official, lock-in season is here. It's the time to focus, build self-discipline, and take action towards our goals, one mindful step at a time. Because I don't know about you, but when I wake up on December 31st, I want to feel at peace with myself, knowing that I followed through on the promises that I made to myself, and trusting that I have been building strong foundations for an incredible 2026. So if that sounds like you too, you're in the right place, and I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. We have a cinnamon latte decaf because your girl, she's been decreasing her caffeine intake. For the last 2 months, I've had maybe 6 caffeinated drinks. So yeah, a lot has been changing over the last few weeks, over the last few months. So we definitely need to catch up a little bit. Hello friends, welcome back to another Happiness Diaries video vlog. I took a little bit of a break from YouTube over the last few months. Firstly, to spend summer in Portugal with my family, and then I experienced the biggest breakout on my face of my entire life. I still have some leftovers, I'm still in the process of healing it. So I decided to take a little bit of a break to focus inwards, to focus on myself, on my healing, on my growth. But we are approaching the end of 2025, which means that it's time to lock in. And this year, we're doing it together. So in this video, you will find motivation for your soft girl winter arc, building habits that last, and as always, how to practice the art of growing mindfully. But beyond inspiration, you know that what I love the most is to give you actionable and practical steps to follow. So if you've been struggling with staying consistent, staying disciplined, I will be revealing the stages of building discipline the mindful way, of course. So make sure to stick around for that. And before we dive in, if you're new here, please allow me to quickly introduce myself to you. My name is Irene. I'm a mindful growth coach and creator with a background in positive psychology and neuroscience. I've also been journaling for almost 20 years, and here on this channel we talk about all things mindful self-improvement, journaling, mindset, self-discipline, and a lot more. So if that's your vibe, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any future videos. And if you want more resources to grow more mindfully, maybe even join our free community events, check out the Happiness Diaries journal, my Instagram page, as well as Waves of Thoughts. And with that said, let us jump straight into the video. for this section of the video, I want to try out this mini mic. Hopefully the audio is going to be nice and crisp, so testing it out today. But as I promised you at the start of this video, now I want to talk to you and share with you some ideas on how to actually build discipline and consistency. So if this is something that you struggle with, I'm going to share with you the 3 stages that I always take my coaching clients through when it comes to building discipline. And this means building discipline without procrastination, without perfectionism, without those cycles of starting something and never actually finishing anything, without feeling frustrated with yourself. And hopefully this will highlight to you maybe some mistakes you've been making, or maybe some reasons why you haven't been able to stay consistent so far. So let's dive into it. Phase number 1 is planning. Planning is always the first step, because first you need to know kind of where you're headed, where you want to go. So in this stage, this is where you set realistic goals, maybe create a vision board, define an action plan, set some deadlines, some timelines with yourself. If you have the Happiness Diaries journal, planning is the phase that corresponds to phase 1. And 2, this is where you will clarify your vision, clarify what you want, connect with your values, connect with your strengths, and also define a step-by-step roadmap that you can follow to actually bring that vision into reality. What I've noticed though is that a lot of people will end up stuck right in this first stage just because planning feels like safe productivity. But planning does not equal progress. Yes, planning is just the foundation. It is the first step. But without action, planning is just procrastination in disguise. Moving on to stage number 2, showing up. So once you've clarified what you want, you've created your action plan, you move on to actually taking the steps. And this is a step that I've noticed that the girlies with the all or nothing mindset and a few perfectionistic tendencies might have the urge to skip. But I want to remind you, especially if you're starting something new, you cannot expect from yourself to be 100%, to be the GOAT instantly in that area. The goal for you, especially if you have been having a hard time with staying consistent, the goal for you is to slowly build self-trust with yourself. And you do this by keeping small promises to yourself every single day. And especially when it comes to these small promises, I mean tiny promises. I mean shrinking down a task or a goal or an idea so much that it becomes almost impossible for you not to do it. For example, if you put in your calendar that you want to go for workouts, but you're feeling too tired to actually go to the gym, you can always just do some light yoga or an at-home workout. If you told yourself that you want to start journaling, but you realize you don't really have the time to spend an hour journaling, writing down your thoughts, you can always just write down 3 things that you're grateful for in your journal, in a notes app on your phone, or you can open your Happiness Diaries journal, fill in a page. Even if it is just 5 minutes, at this stage, with showing up, that is all we need. At this stage, showing up is the win. If you're ambitious, you might feel a bit of resistance when it comes to this idea. You might feel tempted to show up for the small win and then upscale it and go all in because you want to show up, do everything perfectly on the first try, become consistent in one go, and do all these amazing things. I highly encourage you. And you know what? I actually challenge you to show up for these small wins. Make one small, tiny, very tiny promise to yourself every single day, and your goal, your objective for the day is to keep that promise to yourself. Do this day in, day out, and watch your levels of self-trust building. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything else. And if you have these big goals, but you're not showing up for yourself in these small ways, how do you expect yourself to be able to get to this point? Moving on to stage number 3. Improving. So once you've done this for a while and you have proven to yourself that, hey, I got myself, when I say something, I actually follow through and I do the thing, and therefore your self-trust levels are strong, now it's time to level up. And at this stage, we're no longer thinking about just ticking boxes on your to-do list. This is when we stop half-assing things. This is when we refine skills, we improve routines, we raise our standards, we eliminate wasted efforts, we increase intensity/frequency. But, very important, you can only get to this point once you've gone through all of the previous stages. Because I've said this multiple times, but I will continue on repeating it. Your foundations first need to be established before being improved. Because otherwise, what happens? We enter this beautiful cycle of starting feeling very motivated, very encouraged. We go all in, crazy action. We try to be perfect and amazing right from the start. We burn out. It's too much. It's very overwhelming. Our system is just an insane shock. So what happens? We drop everything. And worse than that is we feel very frustrated with ourselves. We feel like we've let ourselves down because we made a promise, but we couldn't keep it because there's too much for our system, our nervous system, our mind, and our environment to keep up with. So then you rest a little bit, you regain your strength, you regain your motivation, and then you go cycle once again. And so it continues, and so it repeats. And we don't want this. We don't want this cycle because we know that nothing good comes from it. So try out these 3 stages. This is the way for you to actually build discipline and stay consistent with your goals, with taking action towards creating the life that you want without feeling too overwhelming, without burning out, without letting yourself down as well. So try this out. Honestly, it's kind of funny how for someone who struggled so much for so many years with going to the gym, building consistency when it comes to working out specifically, it's kind of funny how now it's just such a normal and fun and honestly a non-negotiable as well part of my daily routine. As I said before, and a really strong pillar and base of mindful growth is that first, your habits need to be established before being improved. For the first half of the year, that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been focusing on phase 2 of building consistency, especially when it comes to fitness and going to the gym and working out. So the goal so far has been to show up, to overcome the fear of going to the gym, to become comfortable with going often to the gym. I started the year by going once, then I slowly upped it into going twice per week. And now that I've proven to myself that, I can trust myself, I can keep promises to myself. When I say I'm going to the gym, when I add it to my calendar, when I say I'm going to work out, I actually do it. And honestly, I've kind of fallen in love with working out and all things fitness and movement, and I've been walking so much more as well. So it's been a very, very interesting progress as well. But now that phase 2 has been locked in, I can move on to the third phase, which is improving. So from now on, I'm taking things a little bit to the next level. I even created a whole Notion template to fully track my workouts, the reps that I do, the exercises, making sure I have a little bit of everything, splitting upper, lower body, things like that. And also so I can fully focus on doing some progressive overload. So yeah, it's been a very interesting process to go from really struggling to stay consistent to actually now loving it so much. With that said, let's go to the gym together. Let's just all do a little wave. Yes. I just love hosting these events so much. I can't even tell you. The feeling of being in a community, being together, growing together, and having that accountability, or having just having a safe space where you can come with like-minded people and just be yourself and share your thoughts and talk about your big goals that maybe sometimes when we share with other people, they might not fully comprehend. But in this space, we all have big dreams. And we all get to share them with each other and find motivation to move forward, even when it feels hard, together in these spaces. That's why I just love creating like opportunities for you all to grow mindfully, and most importantly, just leading these kind of spaces that are just so in the moment, so raw, so without pressure in a way as well. Today we did some journaling, and I also led a meditation, which I haven't done in so long, and it was just so beautiful. I will drop comments and thoughts that participants had over on the screen so you can get a better understanding of how beautiful and the experience that these people went through. They basically talked a lot about things that are holding us back from becoming the next level us, and then we set some intentions for the rest of the year, and then we ended by talking about like boundaries and systems and accountability and things to actually realistically put into practice the thoughts and ideas and plans and goals and dreams that we have, because that's also very needed. And then the meditation was just a beautiful way to bring it all together and just end the session feeling so connected to our potential and so connected to everyone in the room, and just ready to move forward and take action to, you know, wake up on December 31st feeling really proud of yourself, feeling like you have showed up, you kept the promises that you made to yourself, and yet still feeling calm and at peace and just happy, because finishing the year strong is not really what we're trying to do. We're trying to just continue on building foundations and moving forward one step at a time, one goal at a time, and one journal entry at a time. That is what matters, is waking up on the last day of the year and just feeling at peace with yourself. That is the most important thing. So it was just such a beautiful event, and I'm so glad that I decided to bring these events back. They're just amazing. I love hosting them. Everyone loves joining them. There's new girls joining every single month. So if that's your case, if you haven't joined us yet, I'm highly inviting you to do so, okay? I host one event per month. We have a different theme every month. We journal together. Sometimes I go over some scientific-based findings related to that specific topic for that month. So for example, last event was about consistency, so I talked about the stages of consistency, which I actually also mentioned in this video, but the girls in the event heard it first and from a different perspective, because I always include things in these events that I do not share anywhere else. And sometimes we do other exercises as well. So today we did a meditation, but the whole event is very much as like a workshop kind of group coaching session style, in a sense that you can turn on your camera or keep it off however you feel comfortable. Everyone interacts in a chat. I read things out loud. We just very much communicate, and the whole point is that I'm there for you. Like, you don't have to go through your journey alone. We can grow together, and this is your space to do that. So join us in the broadcast channel on Instagram. That's where I always announce the events. That's where I drop the links for joining. Also, the events are free, so what's the excuse, girl? What is the excuse, okay? So yeah, it's just a really beautiful space. So I hope to see you in the next one. Okay, moment of truth. Inserting the chair onto the base. So let's do this. Is that it? Now we need to turn it. Okay. We've been practicing at the gym for this. Let's go. Oh my god. Honestly, I really thought assembling the chair was gonna be way harder than it was. They send you this guide, and there's also videos on their website teaching you step by step what you need to do. Apart from this last bit of having to flip the chair because the chair is a little bit heavy, everything was really, really simple. Amazing. We have one final step, which is to add the top of the chair, the headrest, and then we're good.